What is going on today? We're going to talk about the top 5 mistakes new home buyers make. What is going on? It is Chris Colgan. I am joined by one of my buyer specialists, Kasey Hagerty here. Kasey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 mistakes new home buyers make. And the reason I brought in Kasey is she recently, at the beginning of the year, bought a home for me, and her and her husband were first-time home buyers. And then she actually, which never really happens, ended up joining my team as a new agent as well. So she's worked with plenty of first-time home buyers. So these mistakes, we came up with a list of 5 that we think you're gonna like and that a lot of people don't really think about. Number 1 is not looking into first-time home buyer programs or alternate forms of financing. So Kasey, when she bought her house, she did a VA loan. So tell me a little bit about that. What were the pluses about it? How did all that work?
Well, it was super easy. My husband was in the Army, so we were able to qualify. Basically, we didn't have to put any money down, and we got money back at closing. So when you were initially going to buy, right? Let's say you didn't even, because we didn't even know each other. You guys got referred to me, so by a YouTube viewer. So you guys didn't even know much about the process. Did you think you had to put money down? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were when we first started talking about it, it was just, we're just playing around, thinking about things. But as soon as we got the facts of not having to put any money down or put 20% down, we jumped on that real quick. Yeah,
so certainly a VA loan, if you're in the military or your spouse or whoever you're with is in the military, your partner, that's something, or former military, you can qualify for a VA loan. And one of the other things that's really common, not where we live here in Northern Virginia, but other parts of Virginia, are a rural development loan. So if a house is in a certain location, which I know Kasey being new, we haven't run into too many times for you because we do a lot around here, but if a house is a certain rural development area, which the agricultural department will fund your down payment, that's another way you can do a 0% down loan. So it's called a USDA loan. So in your state, you might have a special program. So here in Virginia, we have a VHDA loan, which they give you a grant. And you recently worked with a buyer that did one of those, right?
Yeah, super easy. Basically, you talk to a lender, get qualified. You do have to take some classes.
Yeah, they put you through some classes, things like that.
But other than that, super simple.
And they teach you how to buy a house, go through all the process, and
very informative.
And your client, they didn't even know about it, right?
No. So it's always good that we're able to get the word out that you don't need all of this money to purchase your first home.
Right. Number 2, not budgeting for expected maintenance costs. So let's talk about that, because Kasey, you had something not funny happen to you recently. So tell me about that, because that is one thing that a lot of home buyers don't save for a rainy day for. So go ahead and tell me about that.
My AC went out, and it's pretty hot outside.
Yeah, it gets to be 90 degrees here in Virginia, and as soon as it gets hot, you see AC trucks driving all up and down the streets, right?
Or at my house,
Yeah,
it was definitely not something we really expected. Being first-time home buyers, we're used to just calling somebody to come fix it, and that was not the case. It was definitely a hefty payment, but
yeah, and it's that's the thing is right, you do own the place now, which is great, but you just can't call a landlord and say hey, send somebody over. One of the things you can do to protect yourself is get a home warranty, which is $500 to $600 depending on the price of the place you get. And they will cover some of that repair stuff. So making sure that you put away a rainy day fund for anything unexpected.
Absolutely. So number 3, not getting pre-approved before you start looking. As a buyer's agent, I see this a lot with on our team, is basically I have people come to me and they think that they're approved for so much, and before talking to a lender, which we have really good lender recommendations, of course, they actually can afford much more than what they thought. So coming with a pre-approval letter saves a lot of time for you guys, and you kind of get to see exactly what you can get in what area. So I always recommend that to all my clients before taking them out, is talk to a lender, because there's a lot of things that you don't know as first-time home buyers. I've been there.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the things, was it hard for you to get a pre-approved?
Oh, no. Yeah. It takes, I think, maybe 2 or 3 days, if that is quicker you get your information in, the quicker they can give you something. So it's pretty painless.
Yeah, and like one mistake we see people do is they get a little bit like nervous. They're like, oh, you know what? Like, I don't really want to get pre-approved. Who knows what will happen? Or this, and that. And then the next thing you know, like she said, they're approved for a lot more or less. And they're like looking in the wrong areas or the wrong type of places. So definitely talk to a lender. We can hook you up with someone, as she said.
All right, so number 4 is not having a real estate agent.
So tell me about that. Like, why do you want a real estate agent like myself or Kasey? God forbid I'm busy. Go ahead. Like, why would they want to have a real estate agent?
Well, it's good to have a real estate agent because they know the area way more than you do, probably. This is their job. This is what they do. So they have the insides, the tips, the tricks. I got that from Chris when we used him. Me and my husband were just coming back to the area. He lived here his entire life. I lived here for a part of my life, and Chris just knew way more than we did. So sometimes...
Yeah, which is like not uncommon. Like I was like, Chris is great is really what she was saying. But basically it's like not uncommon, right? Like they were like looking in certain areas and I was like, they were looking at Manassas and I was like, her husband worked at a place near the airport. And I was like, hey, like let's look at this new neighborhood that was right by the airport. And I just happened to know that. And then like by chance, I was like, it's also by Two Silos Brewery. They're big brewery people. And so like not putting you on blast or anything, but yeah. So one of the other things that I was talking to Kasey about, I almost just choked to death, by the way. One of the things we were just talking to Kasey about was like, a big problem was like Zillow and Redfin. Like these are great sites and like, so everyone jumps on them and all that. But like Kasey, as you know, as a buyer agent, like tell me like some people that you've worked with this year, like you found them houses that weren't even on the market.
All the time. And since Chris does most of the listings, if I know one's coming, they get the early access to it. So that's definitely a pro of working with a real estate agent versus Zillow and Redfin.
Yeah. And I mean, again, like this is somebody that like just recently bought this year and was on like those websites, didn't really know what was out there. And then I was able to like jump on something, and as good as I am, they even got money back. I mean, come on people, let's go. They didn't take me out to dinner or anything afterwards, which is okay, but all right.
Did.
You did actually, all right. Let's go on to the next part. Cut that out, Bobby.
All right, so number 5, last but not least, your opinion is the one that counts the most. So as soon as you put it out there on Facebook or start talking about it with everybody, just know you're gonna have everybody's opinion about what house you're buying, what the market's like. I could go on and on and on about this. But at the end of the day, it's your home, it's your decision, and trust the professionals.
Yeah, like, and we're never gonna be like, but I mean, like, I'm never like as an agent or Kasey's agent, we're not gonna go in and tell somebody to buy a house, like, it's gotta be something that you wanna stay in for the next 5 to 7 years. So like, if you don't like it, like, don't buy it. And trust me, plenty of people's mother-in-laws have called me, and thankfully I'm a good guy, I know how to talk to them. And I've said, hey, look, you know what, like, let them decide, like, and so when you go out there and blast your business, like, everyone's got an opinion about it, right? So keep it to yourself, we always say. No, we never say that. I don't even know why I just said that. I hardly ever say that, but whatever. You can tell whoever you want. All right, Kasey. So like, what areas do you like, if I was watching this video and I said, you know what, that guy, Chris Colgan's amazing, but I'm calling Kasey, like what areas do you specialize in? Like, we know you're a buyer's agent. Like what is your forte? Like Northern Virginia?
Absolutely. Right now I've been doing a lot in Fredericksburg, Stafford, pretty much everywhere in Northern
Everywhere, Virginia. Yeah. And the thing with like Kasey is like you work with like everyone. Like I've seen you like do $200,000 condo and then you just put like $1 million place under contract, So like, and again, she's like new, but she instantly jumped into it and like learned and all that. She knows Northern Virginia like great for like any buyers to work with. As you can tell, she's personable. She has the most knowledgeable person ever in real estate with her, me, as you guys know. I just made that up. No one calls me that, but whatever. So Kasey, what do we say? We'll see you at the top or from the
bottom? What?
Okay, one more time. We gotta do that outro. So I say, we'll see you at the top or from the top. If I was trying to be successful telling about buying a house, why would I say I'll see you from the bottom? I mean, people, what else can I do for her? I just blew her up.
We were doing like analogy.
Yeah, exactly. So as always.
Wait, what was it again?
We will see you at the top or from the top. Okay, see, we finish each other's sentences, you know what I mean?
Oh.
As always, we will see you at the top.
Or from the top.
Goodbye.